So we know how normally functions in JavaScript looks like. You have the function name, you have the parenthesis, and you have the return statement. Also, you have the parameter list in the round braces. So when we call this function value, you get and pass on 10, you get 20. Now we're going to look how we could reduce this three lines of code into a single line using arrow functions. First off, in arrow functions, you could like just omit the function keyword and replace this with the arrow symbol. Hence the name arrow function. So this will work in the exact same way as the function value. We call value 10, pass value 1, pass 10, and get 20. Moving on, you could also get rid of the parenthesis and the return statement. In case you have functions with a single statement inside the function block, this works in case of single statement, as the return is implicitly like recognized by JavaScript. A plus 10 is the return value. JavaScript knows this, and we pass the a as a parameter. And when we call value 2, we get and pass on 20, 10, we get 20. Moving on, you could actually get rid of these round braces when you have just a single parameter to work with. So we have value 3, we have a parameter a, and we return a plus 10. Again, calling this by passing 10, we get the exact same value. Now, in case of functions where you do not have any parameters to work with, you could actually do two things. You could or either have have a set of round braces and the return statement you want to have, or you could just have an underscore, which just means that there's no parameters to work with. And when we call these two functions, we get the exact same result. Now, moving on, when you have a single statement function, but we have more than one parameter, we're gonna have to bring back the round braces. So we have the parameter series in here, and we want to return this statement. So when we call get Netflix series, we're gonna pass on the parameters dark and 2017. We get the return value you want. Again, if you wanna have more than one line of statement in the function block, you're gonna have to bring back the parenthesis. So as you can see, this is a function sum. We pass on a and b as two parameters. We find the sum and we return the sum. And when we call this, we get the sum as expected. Now arrow functions do like reduce the amount of code you are gonna have to write. However, they do have some use cases where you don't want arrow functions. For example, the following two blocks of code. So here we have a snacks object. The object has three properties: food, beverage, and order. Food is just hard coded dim sums, coffee, and order is a function. This is a normal function in JavaScript. You have a function, you have the return statement, and when we call snacks.order, you will get I will have this. Now this keyword in JavaScript refers to the object it's in. So as you can see, this refers to the object snacks, which has three properties: food, beverage, and order. So snacks, I will have snacks.food with snacks.beverage, and as expected, you get the exact same return value you want. However, this is where the issue with arrow functions comes in. We have the exact same object, we have the exact same properties. Now we replace the normal function with arrow functions, and we have the exact same return statement. This time you'll see the returned value is undesirable. Like you have, I will have undefined with undefined. What happened here is arrow functions do not have a this bound to them. So the this in arrow function refers to the global object. And since we call this snacks dot order, we the this here refer to the window object, and the window object does not have the food and beverage properties. The snacks arrow object has this. So the issue is apparent here that arrow functions do not work well with this keyword. So this keyword is a confusing concept. So the only purpose of these two blocks of code was to show you the use cases where arrow functions should be avoided, and you should use the normal way of writing functions. I hope this video was able to get your idea of how arrow functions work in JavaScript. Thanks for tuning in.